Hello, and welcome back to the Hello Velocity podcast, where we help corporate women level up without burning out. I'm your host, Brittany Canaski, a leadership coach and trainer here in Charlotte, North Carolina, at my own business, also called Hello Velocity. And welcome officially to season 2. I'm so excited you're back, and I'm so excited to be back after taking a little bit of time off to regroup, to plan for season 2, and to learn from season 1. This is my first time ever doing a podcast besides being interviewed on some, and I've learned a ton, and I'm really excited to bring some learnings into season 2. So with that, you may remember from season 1, over time, the theme turned into work-life balance. This was something I wasn't necessarily planning for. It was just a natural progression based on the conversations I was having with my clients at the time. So now season 2 is going to be a little different. I'm going into it with a theme because it worked so well last time. So the theme for season 2 is confidence. This is another really common conversation that comes up with my coaching clients, especially women in corporate America. It's something that either we want to have more of confidence, or maybe we think we have it, but other people are giving us feedback that we don't have it. And it really can be something that holds you back, whether it's something that's holding you back from maybe physically even raising your hand or asking for opportunities or asking questions, speaking up in meetings. But then also I see it on the other side where sometimes you may think that you're confident, but then other people around you don't see that confidence too. So we want to help you shape your relationship to confidence and how you can hold it both internally and exude it externally, so that you can get in front of the right people, so that you can be in the right rooms, having the best conversations by showing up at your best self and feeling confident in who you are at your truest self, right? There's this piece of it too, that it's really about who you are and getting to know yourself so that you can show up at your fullest and at your best. And that is the juicy stuff we'll be getting into more this season. Something else new and exciting for season 2 is that I will be bringing on guests this season. So every other episode, I'll be doing an interview with a fellow peer in the industry, someone I've either worked with or I partner with, or someone who's doing complementary work to what I'm doing that also supports women in corporate America to help them get to that next level. These guests are going to help me cover various perspectives of confidence. So think about career transitions or communicating or even your personal style, all things that factor into your confidence when you're showing up to work as a leader. So my intention with all of season 2 is to help you think about confidence in a different way, to learn a lot of techniques of how to build your confidence from all these different perspectives. And in turn, this will help you level the corporate playing field, both for you and the other women that you're working with or supporting or mentoring or friends with, or just people in your network. I really think it is a group effort, and that is why I'm bringing in these other amazing women to talk about this conversation, to start normalizing how we can support one another, how we can boost each other's confidence, how we can support each other to have these difficult conversations. And I want you to also start to be able to do that as well with the people in your world. So for today, let's start talking and thinking about confidence at a high level. Obviously, we have plenty of topics and perspectives we're going to be covering throughout the next 12 weeks or so. But for today, start thinking about what confidence means to you, specifically about yourself, and think about your relationship to the word confidence. So to me, the word confidence, I like to think of it as interchangeable with the words belief and faith. And something that always comes to mind when I think about this is how often we use those words about other people and other things, but very rarely do we use this language about ourselves. It's not that often we say, oh, I believe in myself. I have faith in myself. I have confidence in myself, right? Especially for women, it's something we're probably constantly working on that. And especially if you think about the voices in our head, the thoughts in our head, how often are you really talking to yourself like this? So that's my first challenge to you, is to start thinking about whatever language resonates most with you, whether it's belief, faith, confidence, or something else. How can you integrate that language more consistently into your internal thoughts when you're thinking about yourself and when you're hyping yourself up to do something new, to try something new at work? Maybe it's a new hobby, whatever it is. I want you to start using this language more and see how differently you start to show up. So you all probably have caught on by now that I love themes, I love trends, I love looking back at coaching clients over time and seeing what those common threads are across my different clients and what I can learn from that. And I love to bring that here in the podcast. And that's honestly one of the main reasons for this podcast too, is to share these learnings because I'm working with so many women in various industries, various roles, but I'm seeing very similar threads and themes come up. So when it comes to confidence, some of the common themes, and it's almost like the different relationships I see that women have with confidence kind of fall into these three different buckets. One is that a lot of times people have this negative feeling about the word confidence or their relationship to confidence. Sometimes we think to be confident, you have to be an asshole, you have to be conceited, or it means that you're bragging about yourself. I hope you know this is not true. I hope you can get past this, but sometimes it is just maybe how we were raised or our society or things that we've come to believe over time from other people we've interacted with who have exuded this. But I want you to remember this is not true. And again, just check in with yourself which one of these three buckets really resonates most with you to see where you're coming from so that we can evolve and shift this relationship over time. Another very common theme I see, and I'm sure you've heard this term a lot when it comes to confidence in women, is imposter syndrome. I see a lot of women who have imposter syndrome where they want to be confident in themselves, but something's holding them back. And it's usually thinking they're not worthy of what they already have. So they are literally and figuratively afraid that someone will think that they're an imposter, right? They're afraid they're going to be found out one day. It's almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop to say, oh, you already got this promotion. And then you're worried that one day someone's going to take it away from you or say that you're not as good as you think you are, or, who are you to do something like this, right? So this one's a very complicated relationship with confidence. And again, we're going to dig into more of these going forward, but just check in with yourself if this is how you relate to confidence. And the third most common theme that I see when it comes to confidence with women is that they think they're confident, but yet they're still getting feedback from people they work with, their boss, their peers, or mentors, that they're not exuding confidence like they think they are. And this one is also complicated for its own reasons. But it's something, again, we can be internally confident, but sometimes the things that we're doing externally and how we're showing up in rooms, how we're communicating, isn't exuding the confidence that we do have internally. So it's as if we need to learn how to translate this confidence externally, which a ton of our guests are going to help you with really tangible tools this season to help you get to that point as well. And really all three of these buckets of different relationships that you may have to confidence, our guests are going to be supporting these. We're going to have really tangible techniques for you to start applying in different situations, different scenarios. And remember that there's nothing wrong with these relationships. I just want you to think about, okay, if you're coming from one of these now, what do you want it to look like differently in the future? What is your goal for your relationship to confidence? What do you want it to look like instead? Do you want it to be something where it's more of an uplifting and empowering relationship, where you understand you're not always going to feel confident, especially when you're trying something new? That's natural to not feel confident in something new, but that it's this ebb and flow of a relationship where there's days you're going to have it in certain areas and then there's days you're not going to feel it. But how can you tap into it whenever you need it? How can you tap into it both internally and show it externally? How can you make confidence something that is always at your core, that you always have it? It's this like bedrock inside you that you can rely on. And I know we've talked about this in the past too, but one of the key points to start here is to just get to know yourself better, to understand your core values, to understand who you are at your core so that you can have this core belief in yourself that you're confident in. And then it becomes so much easier to translate it externally. And as you're thinking about your relationship with confidence, think about the various aspects of your life and your work where it shows up and how it shows up differently. So maybe you're really confident when you're building presentation slides, but not when you're actually doing the presenting. Maybe when you're leading your team meeting, you're super confident, but if you're leading a meeting in front of higher ups in your company, you're not feeling as confident. Maybe in your current role, you're super confident, but when you're applying for new roles, you feel yourself shrinking a bit in most situations. Maybe when you're talking about money, when you're working with people from different generations, you're not feeling as confident of how to go about those conversations. And then maybe even different aspects of life. when you're learning something new, when you have different hobbies? How confident are you when you're first trying it versus when you've been doing it for years? What about different social situations or making new friends? What about your style and your clothes that you wear and how you show up in the world physically? And maybe even traveling, maybe exploring your own neighborhood versus traveling and exploring across the country or across the world. How are you showing up differently with confidence in these different aspects? And this was a little bit of a tease to different topics that we're going to cover over the next 12 weeks. I'm super excited about. And honestly, I probably have stories about all of these different aspects of life and work as well, of when I've had confidence, when I haven't had confidence, how I've had to work through that myself. So I'm happy to share all of those going forward as well and help you remember that you're not alone. So many women, honestly, I think every single one of my coaching clients, we've had to talk about confidence at some point, right? You're not alone. This is totally normal. And it's at every level of each organization that I work with, right? It's the people who are freshly starting out in their career all the way to the people at the top. And it's okay. So let's just first start normalizing a relationship with confidence is complicated and we're not alone in that. So thank you for joining our first episode of season 2 today. As always, what's one thing you learned today that you can take action on in the next week? If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a quick review or a like on whatever platform you're listening to. It's really helpful for new people to find the podcast and get the support that they're looking for too. Remember, we're not alone in this, and there's plenty of other people who need this support as well. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next episode.